How's it going over there? Oh yeah, and some good coffee at a little like 8:30 at night. Shit's gonna keep me awake. But I got a few things I'd like to talk about. I suppose the first thing. This is my second vlog, so hooray for me for doing something continuously 2 days in a row. That's virtually unheard of in my life. Yay me. Well, I had recently been bitten by a spider of some sort, or perhaps a really nasty bug. It wasn't really clarified. I am uninsured because I'm a full-time student and I don't have a job, so suppose they kind of go together. I don't know. But this bite, it first turned out, to be just a slight itch. I didn't even feel any pain or anything. And then it had gone from a slight itch to a pretty swollen red. And then the day after that, it decided to start changing colors. A good mixture of blue, black, and yellow. Mostly just ugly. I wasn't really super concerned about it. I kind of, believe in my white blood cells to rape and pillage anything that decides to infiltrate my body. But I had, nonchalantly walked outside and talked to my parents, and they kind of freaked out. And the next thing I know, I'm at a local clinic, which, by the way, you have to pay up front. They don't bill you, unlike ERs. So the doctor prescribes me a antibiotic, Bactrim, a generic of it, and surprisingly, he only had spoke to me for about 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes before he darted out the door. Couldn't even really get a good question in with him. Maybe interrogate the look a little more. He just confirmed what I knew in the first place, and that was it was a bite. So thanks a lot, medical school. But anyways, I had been taking this Bactrim for about a week now, and every day of the week I had terrible, terrible stomach aches every time I would eat something. And I virtually was left incapacitated and could only lay on my stomach or on my side for long periods of time until the food was probably relatively digested. I really couldn't go anywhere for about an hour to an hour and a half, and even then I was really limited on my physical movements. So it was, and then at first I didn't really blame it on the antibiotics, but as each day went by, it tended to continue only about, when I ate. So this lasted for a week, and then finally, after so many stomach aches, I was like, that's it. I'm done with these stomach aches. So I stopped taking it. Thankfully, this was about a few days after my bite is completely gone. So the antidotes are more or less for a preventative measure than an actual, this is a solution that we have to resort to. Because I am aware of antibiotics needing to fully, consume the entire prescription, or you might risk the chance of a virus coming back. But I like to think maybe this venom was going to go away anyways. I wasn't dead or anything. But yeah, so antibiotics, they cause a lot of pain because they tend to kill all the good bacteria, the entire ecosystem that's just harvesting in your digestive tract. It's true, look this up. So the antibiotics wipe those out, and if you eat, all the bad bacteria from the food itself tends to just throw a rave party and cause a lot of shit. And it was really painful. So, and diarrhea. That is a wonderful side effect of Bactrim. Moving on now. As I mentioned earlier, or the last video, I have classes starting up on Monday, starting summer school. Yes. And I am just now entering calculus, and I'm taking an intro to Java class, which is not precisely relevant to my curriculum at the moment, but I feel it would be necessary some point down my career. And as a mechanical engineer, you know, this whole last year, I had to start all the way back at basic mathematics because, you know, I didn't actually complete high school. I stopped and dropped out, got my GED when I was in 10th grade. This was back in 2005, so it was quite a while ago. And then from that point, I had basically been jumping around the country just sporadically, spontaneously, with no cause, and all based on emotional whims. And so when I got my shit together, you know, I'm back in school, and I decided to go back to school for the one thing I really love, and that's science. Sorry, I get excited when it comes to science, but so mechanical engineering, you know, I decided I want to go to school and do something that is, in my position, impossible. You know, I have anything to do with math. I avoided it my entire life, and I decided, you know what, math? I'm going to fucking take you on. And that's what I did last year. Started in basic math, worked my way up all the way through beginning algebra, pre-algebra, and then college algebra, then trigonometry, and now I am taking Calculus 1 for the summer. I'll be taking 2 more calculuses and another math class on top of that for over the next year. And that should be really exciting. But nevertheless, it is a very pinnacle moment in my life. Something that I've conquered, and being a kid that always believed I would never be able to actually comprehend mathematics. You know, I ran away from the concept. I would never even look at it. Just believed every ounce of me would never be able to even think of it. But I've proved myself wrong, and that probably means a large percentage of people out there that go around complaining they can't do math probably has something to do with a little bit of desire and self-discipline. This is my second background. I figure, you know, maybe I keep the same background, maybe not. I have a good collection of pictures that I find interesting, so if I'm just randomly blabbing, I might as well just randomly show an image that I have found interesting at some point in the past. I had mentioned that I read some books in the past year, so these were a couple of them. This is called The Brain Rules, and that's by John Medina. I guess he has a PhD in neurology. Pretty interesting book, really kind of, you know, gets into the concepts of how the brain learns, neuroplasticity, and it's really, this was the first book that I read before I went back into school because I wanted to really believe in myself that I could mold my brain back into the academic scene, and I'm not a lost cause for this planet. Another book, Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman. Very humorous book. I believe it's a collection of notes after, I don't know if it was after he died that it was published, but there really isn't any story to it. It's just kind of, the notes were kind of put into order as best they could, but it just talks about different events in his life, and there's a big section in here that deals with his life at when he was doing the Manhattan Project at Los Alamos. Very fascinating topic. It's the idea of physics. It is very exciting. You know, sometimes I try to read to go to sleep, but then I'll get onto a topic that's all getting into the atomic structure, talking about the different makes-up of protons or what an electron really is, and all of a sudden my heart gets all racing. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And, you know, most people, I would assume, get put to sleep for such awesome science, but not me. And if I can find the other books, I will show them too. I showed you the other one from my last video, which I'm actually trading my old book. It's called the Origin of the Big Bang, I believe. And then a few more I have to locate. But guess that's it for now.